Gilgamesh said, "Mother, I dreamed a second dream. In the streets of Strongwall, Uruk, there laid an axe. The shape of it was strange, and the people throng around. I saw it and was glad. I bent down, deeply drawn toward it. I loved it like a woman and wore it at my side." Ninsun answered, "That axe which you saw, which drew you so powerfully like love of a woman, that is the comrade whom I give you, and he will come in his strength like one of the host of heaven. He's the brave companion who rescues his friends in necessity." Gilgamesh said to his mother, "A friend, a counselor has come to me from Enlil, and now I shall befriend and counsel him." So Gilgamesh told his dreams, and the harlot retold them to Enkidu. And now she said to Enkidu, "When I look at you, you have become like a god. Why do you yearn to run wild again with the beasts in the hills? Get up from the ground, the bed of a shepherd." He listened to her words with care. It was good advice that she gave. She divided her clothing in two, and with the one half she clothed him, with the other herself. And holding his hand, she led him like a child to the sheepfolds, into the sheepfold tents. There all the shepherds crowded round to see him. They put down bread in front of him, but Enkidu could only suck the milk of wild animals. He fumbled and gaped, at a loss what to do or how he should eat the bread and drink the strong wine. Then the woman said, "Enkidu, eat bread. It is the staff of life. Drink the wine. It is the custom of the land." So he ate till he was full and drank strong wine, 7 goblets. He became merry, his heart exalted, and his face shone. He rubbed down and matted hair of his body and anointed himself with oil. Enkidu had become a man, but when he put on man's clothing, he appeared like a bridegroom. He took arms to hunt the lions so the shepherds could rest at night. He caught wolves and lions, and the herdmen lay down in peace, for Enkidu was their watchman, that strong man who had no rival. He was merry living with the shepherds, till one day, lifting his eyes, he saw a man approaching. He said to that harlot, "Woman, fetch that man here. Why has he come? I wish to know his name." She went and called the man, saying, "Sir, where are you going on this weary journey?" This man answered, saying to Enkidu, "Gilgamesh has gone into the marriage house and shut out the people. He does strange things in Uruk, the city of great streets. At the roll of a drum, work begins for the men and work for the women. Gilgamesh the king is about to celebrate marriage with the queen of love, and he still demands to be first with the bride, the king to be first and the husband to follow, for that was ordained by the gods from his birth, from the time the umbilical cord was cut. But now the drums roll for the choice of the bride, and the city groans." At these words, Enkidu turned white in the face. "I will go to the place where Gilgamesh lords it over the people. I will challenge him boldly, and I will cry aloud in Uruk. I have come to change the old order, for I am the strongest here." Now Enkidu strode in front, and the woman followed behind. He entered Uruk, the great market, and all the folk thronged round him where he stood in the streets in strong wall Uruk. The people jossed. Speaking of him, they said, "He's the spit of Gilgamesh. He's shorter, he's bigger of bone. This is the one who was reared on milk of wild beasts. His is the greatest strength." The men rejoice. Now Gilgamesh has met his match. This great one, this hero whose beauty is like a god. He is a match even for Gilgamesh. In Uruk, the bridal bed was made, fit for the goddess of love. The bride waited for the bridegroom, but in the night Gilgamesh got up and came to the house. Then Enkidu stepped out. He stood in the street and blocked the way. Mighty Gilgamesh came on, and Enkidu met him at the gate. He put out his foot and prevented Gilgamesh from entering the house. So they grappled, holding each other like bulls. They broke the doorposts, and the walls shook. They snorted like bulls locked together. They shattered the doorposts, and the walls shook. Gilgamesh bent his knee with his foot planted on the ground, and with a turn Enkidu was thrown. Then immediately his fury died. When Enkidu was thrown, he said to Gilgamesh, "There is not another like you in the world. Ninsun, who was as strong as a bull, as strong as a wild ox in the byre, she was the mother who bore you. And now you are raised above all men. And Enlil has given you the kingship, for your strength surpassed the strength of men. So Enkidu and Gilgamesh embraced, and their friendship was sealed. The forest journey. Enlil of the mountain, the father of the gods, has decreed the destiny of Gilgamesh. So Gilgamesh dreamed, and Enkidu said, "The meaning of this dream is this. The father of the gods have given you kingship. Such is your destiny. Everlasting life is not your destiny. Because of this, do not be sad at heart. Do not be grieved or oppressed. He has given you power to bind and to loose, to be the darkness and the light of mankind. He has given you an example supremacy over the people, victory in battle for which no fugitive return, in forays and assaults for which there is no coming back. But do not abuse this power. Deal justly with your servants in the palace. Deal justly before Shamash." The eyes of Enkidu was full of tears, and his heart was sick. He sighed bitterly, and Gilgamesh met his eye and said, "My friend, why do you sigh so bitterly?" But Enkidu opened his mouth and said, "I am weak. My arms have lost their strength. The cry of sorrow sticks in my throat. I am oppressed by idleness." It was then that the Lord Gilgamesh turned his thoughts to the country of the living. On the land of cedars, the Lord Gilgamesh reflected. He said to his servant Enkidu, "I have not established my name, stamped on bricks as my destiny decreed. Therefore I will go to the country where the cedar is felled. I will set up my name in the place where the names of famous men are written, and where no man's name is written yet, I will wise a monument to the gods. Because of the evil that is in the land, we will go to the forest and destroy the evil, for in the forest lives Humbaba, whose name is Hugeness, a ferocious giant." But Enkidu sighed bitterly and said, "When I went with the wild beasts, ranging through the wilderness, I discovered the forest. Its length is 10,000 leagues in every direction. Enlil has appointed Humbaba to guard it and armed him sevenfold terrors. Terrible to all flesh is Humbaba. When he roars, it is like the torrent of the storm. His breath is like fire, and his jaws are death itself. He guards the cedars so well that when the wild heifer stirs in the forest, though she is 60 leagues distant, he hears her. What man would willingly walk into the country and explore its depths? I tell you, weakness overpowers whoever goes near it. It is not an equal struggle when one fights with Humbaba. He's a great warrior, a battering ram. Gilgamesh, the watchman of the forest, never sleeps." Gilgamesh replied, "Where is the man who can clamber to heaven? Only the gods live forever with glorious Shamash. But as for us men, our days are numbered. Our occupation are a breath of wind. How is this already you are afraid? I will go first, although I am your Lord, and you may safely call out. Forward, there is nothing to fear. Then, if I fall, I leave behind me a name that endures. Men will say of me, Gilgamesh has fallen in fight with ferocious Humbaba. Long after the child has been bony in my house, they will say it, and remember." Enkidu spoke again to Gilgamesh. "O my lord, if you enter the country, go first to the hero Shamash. Tell the sun god, for the land is his. The country where the cedars is cut belongs to Shamash." Gilgamesh took up a kid, white without spot, and a brown one with it. He held them against his breast, and he carried them to the presence of the sun. He took in his hands his silver scepter, and he said to glorious Shamash, "I'm going to that country, O Shamash. I'm going, my hands supplicate, so let it be well with my soul and bring me back the quay of Uruk. Grant, I beseech, your protection, and let the omen be good." Glorious Shamash answered, "Gilgamesh, you are strong, but what is the country of the living to you?"